The sun spilled golden light over the farmer's market, where baskets of berries, mangoes, and starfruit glowed like treasures. I'd wandered these stalls countless times, grabbing apples or bananas without pause, but today, a question rooted me to the spot: what if the key to battling cancer, one of humanity's fiercest foes, wasn't locked in a lab's sterile vials but right here, in the vibrant hues of nature's bounty? That moment sparked a journey, a tale of 11 superfruits that science says can arm our bodies against cancer. This isn't just a list, it's a story of hope, resilience, and the quiet power of foods we've overlooked for too long. Before we embark, let's make this a shared adventure. If you're as hungry for natural wellness as I am, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs a spark of hope, and subscribe with the bell icon clicked so we can keep exploring together. Your support fuels this community, and I'm deeply grateful you're here. Grab a cozy spot, maybe a notebook, and let's step into a world where fruit becomes a warrior. Why do we trust pills over plants? I used to, reaching for prescriptions while my grandmother's stories of fruit as medicine lingered in my mind. She'd stain her hands with berry juice, insisting nature held answers. I'd smile, skeptical, but now I see the bitter truth: there's no fortune in a berry bush, so the spotlight shuns nature's remedies. Big Pharma thrives on patents, not on fruits that grow wild and free. Yet science is bridging ancient wisdom with modern labs, revealing 11 superfruits backed by peer-reviewed studies. Number 7, is so overlooked it's practically a secret, even among doctors. Stay with me, because I'm sharing how they work, why they matter, and how you can weave them into your life with joy and ease. 1. Aronia berries, the tiny titans. My journey began with a tart jolt at a health food store, where small purple aronia berries sat quietly in a corner. Known as chokeberries, they looked unassuming, but their sharp bite woke me up when I tossed a handful into my morning smoothie. The tang was a shock, but a 2024 study in phytomedicine kept me hooked. These berries burst with anthocyanins, pigments that paint them deep purple and act as antioxidants, repairing cells and bolstering immunity. Quercetin and chlorogenic acid join the fight, slowing tumor growth and sparking apoptosis, where damaged cells self-destruct before turning rogue. The study tested aronia extract on colorectal cancer cells, finding it slashed cell viability and ramped up apoptosis. That's not folklore, that's hard data. I started blending half a cup, 40-50 g, of frozen aronia berries with banana, spinach, and almond milk each morning. Sometimes, I mix them with yogurt and a drizzle of honey to soften their edge. It's a ritual, a quiet act of defiance against disease, and it feels like arming my body for battle. I thought of Maria, a friend whose story mirrors this fruit's grit. At 48, Maria faced a chilling diagnosis: precancerous cells found in a routine check. Fear gripped her, but resolve took over. She dove into research, wary of medication's side effects, and aronia berries caught her eye. Skeptical but hopeful, she added half a cup to her daily smoothie: kale, banana, and a splash of almond milk. Weeks in, she felt a surge of energy, a clarity she hadn't expected. Months later, her tests showed progress. Maria doesn't call it a cure, she calls it a partnership with her doctors, a way to feel in control. Her story isn't a miracle, it's a testament to small, intentional steps. Could you start with a handful of aronia berries tomorrow? Let it be your first act in this fight. I see my grandmother in Maria, her garden alive with berries she trusted without naming. If I could sit with her now, I'd hand her a bowl of aronia berries and say, "These are fighting for you, just like you fought for us." This fruit, small but fierce, taught me that power often hides in the overlooked, a lesson that shapes this journey. 2. Sapodilla, the sweet sentinel. The tale weaves to sapodilla, a fruit that tastes like caramel kissed by the tropics. I first tried it at a bustling market, its grainy sweetness lingering like memories of childhood summers by the sea. But sapodilla is more than a treat, it's a guardian. Packed with quercetin, camphorol, tannins, and zapidin, it neutralizes free radicals and coaxes faulty cells to self-destruct. A 2025 study in the Journal of Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry tested sapodilla extract on endometrial cancer cells, finding it slowed growth thanks to its flavonoid and polyphenol army. I chop 100 g, half a cup, of ripe sapodilla into my morning yogurt, sometimes blending it with oats and cinnamon for a smoothie that feels indulgent but fights hard. My father used to pick sapodillas during our tropical vacations, joking they were nature's candy. He didn't know their power, but I wish I could share this discovery with him now, a fruit that's both memory and medicine. John's story fits here, a 55-year-old teacher whose world tilted with a prostate cancer scare. Overwhelmed by treatment options, he felt powerless until a nutritionist suggested sapodilla. He started eating 100 g daily, savoring its warmth in his breakfast bowl. Months later, his energy soared, and his scans stabilized. John follows his doctor's plan but credits sapodilla for giving him a stake in his health. His story is about agency, small, sweet bites that add up to strength. Could sapodilla be your ally? Try it tomorrow and feel the difference. Sapodilla humbles me. I once dismissed superfoods as hype, but the data changed my mind. This fruit fights quietly, a bridge between tradition and science. It's a lesson in trusting what grows, a truth I carry forward. 3. Mangosteen, the purple protector. The journey deepens with mangosteen, a fruit cloaked in a tough purple rind, guarding a creamy, sweet tart heart that feels like a secret whispered by the tropics. I first tasted it under a canopy of palms in Southeast Asia, the humid air thick with the scent of rain and earth. Its flavor danced on my tongue, a revelation that lingered long after the meal. But mangosteen's true magic lies in alpha-mangostin, a xanthone compound that set laboratories abuzz with excitement. A 2024 review in Biomolecules unveiled its power. It disrupts cancer cells' mitochondria, the energy hubs that keep them alive, activates caspases, nature's cleanup crew, and silences tumor-fueling signals like AKT and NF-kappa B. In lab studies, it even amplified chemotherapy's impact without harming healthy cells, a precision that feels almost surgical. I've woven mangosteen into my life, snacking on 150 g of fresh pulp, about 2 to 3 fruits each day, savoring their delicate sweetness. On busy mornings, I sip a small glass of pure mangosteen juice, careful to avoid added sugars that dilute its potency. A colleague, Priya, inspired me with her ritual. She pairs mangosteen with her afternoon tea, slicing the fruit with care and arranging it on a plate as if it's a small ceremony. She says it's her moment of peace, a daily act of self-care backed by science. Priya's habit reminds me that health isn't just about nutrients, it's about intention, about choosing to nourish both body and soul. Aisha's story anchors this fruit's power. A 42-year-old mother, Aisha faced breast cancer with a courage that humbles me. The diagnosis shook her, but she refused to be defined by it. Searching for ways to support her treatment, she stumbled across mangosteen in a health forum. Skeptical but desperate for agency, she began eating 2 fruits daily, their sweetness a bright spot in days clouded by hospital visits and uncertainty. She'd sit on her porch, peeling the rind with deliberate care, letting the ritual ground her. Months later, Aisha felt a shift, her energy steadied, her spirit grew fierce. Her doctors noted her resilience, marveling at her strength during chemotherapy. Mangosteen wasn't the whole story, it was her act of defiance, a daily choice to fight back. Aisha's tale is a clarion call. You don't need to overhaul your life. Start with mangosteen, a small rebellion against fear. Could you peel one open tomorrow and feel its power? 4. Cloudberries, sunshine in a bite. Cloudberries burst into the narrative like sunlight piercing a Nordic winter, their golden glow a promise of warmth in the coldest moments. I first encountered them at a specialty store, their tartness a shock that woke my senses when I stirred a handful into my yogurt. These berries carry elagitannins, which transform into ellagic acid, a compound that halts tumor growth and soothes the inflammatory storms that fuel cancer spread. A 2024 MDPI review confirmed their prowess, showing they promote apoptosis and disrupt the chaotic proliferation of tumor cells, a trio of effects that slow cancer's march. I add a small handful, about 50 g, to my morning smoothie with spinach and banana, or mix them into yogurt with a sprinkle of chia seeds. Their zing is a daily wake-up call, a reminder that even small bites can carry big power. A friend, Elena, inspired me with her story. 3 years ago, she started eating cloudberries to ease digestion, unaware of their deeper potential. She'd blend them into her oatmeal, savoring their brightness. Over time, her energy soared, her skin glowed, and her sense of wellness deepened. When she later learned of their cancer-fighting properties, it felt like confirmation of a choice she'd made instinctively. Elena's journey shows how intuition and science can align, guiding us toward health. Sarah's story weaves in here, a 38-year-old nurse who lost her mother to breast cancer. The grief was heavy, but it fueled her resolve to act. Sarah added cloudberries to her daily yogurt, a small ritual to feel proactive after years of watching her mother struggle. She'd sit at her kitchen table, the morning light catching the berries' golden hue, and feel a quiet strength growing within. Her screenings have stayed clear, her spirit fortified. Cloudberries aren't her cure, they're her anchor, a daily reminder she's fighting back. Sarah's story is a beacon. Could you try a handful of cloudberries tomorrow? Let their sunlight spark your own fight. Cloudberries feel like a nod to ancient healers who trusted nature's gifts through harsh winters. I think of my great-aunt, who lived to 92, her table always laden with foraged berries. She'd laugh at my processed snacks, urging me to eat what the earth gives. I didn't listen then, but cloudberries have brought her wisdom back to life. They're a lesson in simplicity's power, a ritual I cherish, a golden thread in this tapestry of hope. 5. Starfruit, the tangy shield. Starfruit enters the tale with a dazzle, its star-shaped slices a burst of yellow that catches the eye like a comet in a night sky. I first saw it in a fancy salad at a coastal restaurant, its tangy zip a surprise that lingered like a summer breeze. But starfruit is more than a pretty garnish, it's a shield. Loaded with polyphenol like quercetin, rutin, and camphorol, it scavenges free radicals and protects liver cells from cancer's reach. A 2024 study in Pharmaceutics revealed that starfruit leaf extract tamed aggressive triple-negative breast cancer cells in vitro, its potency a revelation that stunned researchers. I slice 150 g, 1 medium fruit, into my morning yogurt or blend it into smoothies with kale and pineapple, mindful of kidney cautions. Consult your doctor if you have renal issues. Starfruit's vibrance feels like a gift, proof that beauty and strength are intertwined. My neighbor, Clara, showed me how to love this fruit. She grows starfruit in her backyard, sharing them with a smile and stories of her childhood in the Caribbean. She'd toss them into salads or eat them fresh, unaware of their power until I shared the research. Now, she calls them her little stars, a daily habit that feels like a celebration. Maria's story returns, her battle with precancerous cells now a distant memory. After aronia berries, she embraced starfruit, slicing it into salads with spinach, avocado, and a lemon drizzle. She'd prepare her meals with care, each slice a step toward strength. Her energy grew, her tests improved, as if starfruit fortified her armor. Maria's journey shows how small additions build resilience. Starfruit was another layer in her defense. Could it be yours? Try slicing one tomorrow and feel the spark of possibility. Starfruit humbles me. I once overlooked it as a decorative fruit, but its science-backed strength flipped my perspective. I think of my uncle, who faced liver issues in his later years. If I could turn back time, I'd bring him a starfruit, urging him to try its tangy shield. Today, I share it with you, hoping it lights up your kitchen and your fight. 6. Soursop, the tropical warrior. Soursop strides into the story like a warrior from the tropics, its spiky green shell hiding a creamy, tangy sweet pulp that feels like a secret kept by island breezes. I tasted it on a Caribbean trip, sitting under swaying palms with juice dripping down my chin, its flavor a burst of joy. But soursop's true power lies in annanasin, a compound that a 2024 Journal of Ethnopharmacology study showed reduces colon cancer cell viability and triggers apoptosis, halting rogue cells in their tracks. I blend half a cup of soursop pulp into smoothies with mango and coconut milk or sip a cup of leaf tea daily, steering clear of seeds in excess due to potential toxicity. Soursop's history in island remedies humbles me. Locals used it for centuries, their wisdom now echoed in labs. My friend Javier, a chef, introduced me to soursop's versatility. He'd blend it into sorbets or smoothies, sharing stories of his grandmother's healing teas. When I told him about the cancer research, he nodded, unsurprised, as if his ancestors had known all along. John's story reappears, his prostate cancer scare a turning point. After sapadilla, he added soursop, blending it with berries in a morning shake. He'd prepare it in his quiet kitchen, the routine grounding him through uncertain days. His energy steadied, his hope grew, as if soursop fueled his fight. It wasn't his cure, it was his strength, a daily act of defiance. Could soursop be your warrior? Start tomorrow and taste its power. Soursop is a bridge between past and present, a fruit that fights with quiet ferocity. I think of my travels, of markets where vendors offered soursop with knowing smiles. I didn't understand then, but now I see their gift. This fruit is a lesson in honoring ancient knowledge, a tropical ally I'm grateful to share. 7. Acerola cherry, the vitamin vanguard. Acerola cherries burst into the tale with a tangy zest, their vibrant red a flare of energy that lights up any dish. I first tried them as a powder, stirring a pinch into my yogurt and marveling at the burst of flavor. These cherries are a powerhouse, brimming with vitamin C, anthocyanins, flavonoids, carotenoids, and polysaccharides. A 2024 study in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences revealed their might. They slow cancer growth, boost protective gut enzymes, and shield skin from UV damage, their anti-cancer activity a beacon of hope. I stir 1–2 g of acerola powder into yogurt or smoothies daily, or sip a quarter cup of pure juice when I crave variety. It's a bright habit that feels like a hug from nature, a burst of vitality in every scoop. My co-worker, Liam, turned me on to acerola's magic. He'd add it to his post-workout shakes, joking it was his secret weapon for energy. When I shared the cancer research, he was floored, his casual habit now a deliberate choice. Liam's story shows how small changes can align with big goals, a truth that resonates deeply. Aisha's story returns, her breast cancer fight a testament to resilience. After mangosteen, she embraced acerola, stirring powder into smoothies with banana, kale, and a touch of honey. She'd blend them in her sunny kitchen, the routine a moment of peace amid hospital visits. Her resilience grew, her spirit fierce, as if the cherries lit her path. Acerola wasn't her cure, it was her ally, a small act of power. Could it be yours? Try a scoop tomorrow and feel the lift. Acerola shattered my early doubts about natural remedies. I once saw them as hype, but the data won me over. This fruit fights with vibrance. I think of my sister, who faced skin cancer scares. If I could go back, I'd hand her a jar of acerola powder, urging her to try its radiant strength. Today, I share it with you, hoping it brightens your fight. 8. Black currants, the dark guardians. Black currants step into the story, small and often overlooked, their deep purple a quiet promise of power. I first tasted them in my aunt's garden, where she grew them for jams, their tartness a childhood memory. Their strength lies in anthocyanins, vitamin C, and polyphenol, a trio that a 2012 Journal of Functional Foods study showed curbs colorectal cancer cell growth, suppressing tumors with precision. I toss 50–75 g into smoothies with banana and almond milk or stir them into oats daily, fresh or powdered. Their flavor grounds me, a reminder of family and resilience. My friend Sophia deepened my love for black currants. She'd sprinkle them over yogurt, sharing stories of her grandmother's remedies in Eastern Europe. When I shared the cancer research, Sophia smiled, saying it felt like her heritage was validated. Her story shows how tradition and science intertwine, a thread that weaves through this journey. Sarah's story reappears, her cloudberry habit joined by black currants. She added them to her morning routine, their dark hue a contrast to her bright kitchen. Her screening stayed clear, her resolve strengthened, as if the berries anchored her fight. Black currants aren't her cure, they're her shield, a daily act of courage. Could they be yours? Try them tomorrow and feel their quiet strength. Black currants are a nod to the past, a fruit that fights fiercely. I think of my aunt's laughter, her insistence that berries were medicine. I didn't believe her then, but now I see her wisdom. This fruit is a lesson in trusting the small, a guardian I'm honored to share. 9. Elderberries, the syrup stars. Elderberries glide into the tale, their sweet tart flavor a legacy in syrups and jams, their deep purple a whisper of ancient healing. Their anthocyanins reduce inflammation and slow cancer cell growth, as a 2024 molecule study showed in colon cancer models, triggering natural cell cleanup and calming tumor-friendly environments. I add 1 tablespoon of elderberry syrup to tea or yogurt daily, using prepared berries to avoid toxicity from raw ones. Making syrup each fall is my ritual, a nod to tradition and science, the process filling my kitchen with warmth. My neighbor, Rosa, taught me this craft. She'd simmer elderberries with honey, sharing jars with stories of her childhood in rural Spain. When I told her about the cancer research, she nodded, unsurprised, as if her ancestors had always known. Rosa's story is a reminder that wisdom endures, a gift we can reclaim. Maria's story closes here, her starfruit joined by elderberries. She drizzles syrup into her tea, the routine a moment of calm. Her wellness deepened, her fight stronger, as if the elderberries sealed her armor. They weren't her cure, they were her strength, a daily embrace. Could they be yours? Try a spoonful tomorrow and feel the warmth. Elderberries are a hug from history, a fruit that fights quietly. I think of markets where vendors offered them with knowing smiles, their knowledge now backed by science. This fruit is a lesson in honoring roots, a star in this journey. 10. Mulberries, the resveratrol royals. Mulberries dance into the story, their jewel-like glow a promise of power, their deep purple a canvas of nature's artistry. I first tasted them as a child, picking them from trees during summer picnics, my fingers stained with joy. Their strength lies in resveratrol and anthocyanins, compounds that a 2014 BMC complementary medicine and therapy study showed suppress colorectal cancer cells, promoting apoptosis and calming inflammation. I snack on half a cup fresh or 2 tablespoons dried mulberries daily, blending them into smoothies with spinach and banana or scattering them over salads with walnuts. Their sweetness is a nostalgia that grounds me, now tied to science. My friend Amir deepened my appreciation. He'd add mulberries to his granola, sharing stories of his family's orchard in the Middle East. When I shared the cancer research, he was thrilled, his childhood snack now a health ally. Amir's story shows how heritage can align with discovery, a truth that resonates. John's story returns, his soursop joined by mulberries. He added them to his oats, their sweetness a daily lift in his quiet kitchen. His spirit grew fierce, his fight stronger, as if the berries fueled his resolve. Mulberries weren't his cure, they were his spark, a small act of power. Could they be yours? Try them tomorrow and feel the glow. Mulberries are proof simplicity fights. I think of those picnics, unaware of the treasure in my hands. Now, I see their royalty, a lesson in trusting the small, a vibrant note in this tale. 11. Raspberries, the red rescuers. Raspberries close our journey, their sweet tart bite a familiar joy, their ruby hue a burst of life. I've loved them since childhood, scattering them over yogurt or eating them by the handful in summer. Their power lies in ellagic acid and anthocyanins, which a 2024 Journal of Berry Research study confirmed curb breast cancer cell growth, triggering apoptosis without harming healthy tissue. I eat a cup daily, fresh or frozen, blending them into smoothies with banana, kale, and almond milk or tossing them into salads with spinach and feta. Their flavor is a comfort, now a warrior. My friend Layla showed me their versatility. She'd bake raspberries into muffins or blend them into sauces, sharing stories of her mother's garden. When I shared the cancer research, Layla was inspired, her casual habit now a deliberate choice. Layla's story is a reminder that joy and health can intertwine, a thread that binds this journey. Sarah's story seals this tale, her cloudberries and black currants joined by raspberries. She tossed a cup into her yogurt each morning, a ritual that grounded her after losing her mother to breast cancer. She'd sit at her kitchen table, the berries red a contrast to her white bowl, and feel strength growing within. Her screening stayed clear, her resolve a testament, as if the raspberries lit her path. They aren't her cure, they're her anchor, a daily fight. Could they be yours? Try them tomorrow and feel the spark. Raspberries are a reminder that the simplest things fight hardest. I think of my mother, who loved them too, unaware of their power. Now, I see their rescue, a final call to act, a vibrant end to this tale. Maria, John, Aisha, Sarah, and others share a truth: small steps win. These fruits aren't cures, they're partners in a plant-rich life, blending tradition and science. They empower you to fight alongside doctors, to own your health. Start with one fruit, one bite, and let it grow. Share your story in the comments. Have you tried these fruits? Type yes if this sparked hope. Hit like if you're inspired, share with someone who needs it, and subscribe with the bell icon to stay in this fight. Your support fuels us, and I'm so grateful for you. Your health is your story, these fruits your pen. Write boldly, start small, and let nature lead. Thanks for this journey. Here's to your strength, today and always.